Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus, our digital-only edition. We are in the midst of a changing world order, but this change is not being brought by bullets and bombs. A tiny virus can be much deadlier. I'm sure you don't need proof anymore. So we'll not discuss the virus from Wuhan today. We will talk about a battle that is brewing below the radar. The battle for the secret ingredient that will power our future. You can call it the new gold, you can call it the new oil, the new strategic fuel. I'm talking about the battle for rare earths. What are rare earths? How do we describe them? Well, if we were in a book or a movie, we could have described them as all-powerful elements. A metal perhaps with supernatural characteristics, like mithril.
Mithril. As light as a feather and as hard as dragon scales.
A light but supremely strong element found only in the mines of Moria. Or unobtainium.
This is why we're here. Unobtainium. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo. That's the only reason.
From the James Cameron universe. A highly valuable metal found in small quantities on the distant moon Pandora. Or if we were living in Wakanda, the fictional home of a certain panther, then I would have described this as a rare earth element, vibranium.
There's vibranium on those trains?
There's vibranium all around us.
A durable metal which can absorb any kind of kinetic energy. But we don't live in Wakanda or in any of these worlds. We live on planet Earth with a virus on the prowl. And there are no supernatural elements. Rare earths do not possess supernatural characteristics, but they already rule our lives. From smartphones to supersonic jets, rare earths are the secret ingredient of almost every scientific wonder. And one country is sitting on a pile of them. Before I tell you which, let me show you something. Do you remember studying this in school? The very sight of it can induce some horrific flashbacks. This is the periodic table. It was not nice to me in school, and I understand it's not friendly with most students. I mean, I'm yet to meet someone who says, my favorite activity is reading the periodic table. Take a look at the periodic table. There are a couple of rows that appear to have been kicked out of this table. They don't quite fit in. They sit ignored. I'm talking about this, the set of 15 lanthanides, or chemical elements tucked into the 6th row of the periodic table. And don't worry, this is not a chemistry class. So you take these elements, you add scandium and yttrium at the top, and you get what the world knows as the rare earth elements. They are very precious now. Well, why are they rare? Because of their distribution. They don't appear in big deposits, in big mines like most elements do. They're much more evenly spread across the planet. So it is that much more difficult to mine and refine them. It's also more expensive. So despite being fairly abundant, rare earth elements are, well, quite rare to find. One country has roughly 1/3 of the world's reserves of rare earth elements, more than 36% of the global reserves. And as of today, it accounts for 90% of the global production. No prizes for guessing which country we're talking about. China. Rare earth elements are concentrated in a handful of mines in 3 regions in China. This includes mines in the province of Inner Mongolia, the southern provinces of Hunan, Jiangxi, Fujian and others, and the province of Sichuan. These areas account for 98% of China's total production of rare earth elements. And what does China do with them? It manufactures a range of devices. Let me give you a rough idea. Which devices need rare earths? Aircraft and missile guidance tools, wind turbines and magnets, electric vehicles and rechargeable batteries, smartphones and cameras, earphones and speakers, energy-efficient light bulbs, LCD, plasma screens, CDs, DVDs, even fertilizers. They all need rare earths. Rare earth elements, like I said, are the secret ingredient of every scientific wonder and almost every Chinese product. And China, you can say, is the king of rare earth elements. The Middle East has oil, China has rare earths. I did not come up with this line. Deng Xiaoping, the former paramount leader of China, did. He said it way back in 1992. And the current paramount leader, the president for life, the one and only Xi Jinping, is hoarding these elements. Rare earth elements have become China's secret weapon, its trump card in the trade war with the United States. 80% of these precious metals used by the United States are imported from China, 80%. And the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, has repeatedly hinted that it will restrict the exports to America if the Trump administration imposes any more sanctions. It's quite a threat. The Chinese regime is using these elements as a political weapon, a bargaining chip. Does the world have other options? Sure it does. There are other countries with large amounts of rare earth deposits. If extracted, they can feed the need of the American and European markets and end China's monopoly. Which are these countries? Well, there's Canada, there's Australia, Brazil, Vietnam, and India. That's right. India was one of the first countries, to recognize the importance of these minerals. Back in the 1950s, India established what is known today as the Indian Rare Earths Limited, a government-owned corporation based in Mumbai. India had an early mover's advantage, but it lies buried under the not-so-rare Indian red tape. India's rare earth industry lies wasted and underused. The minerals lie buried in Indian soil. India has the world's 5th largest reserves of these minerals, if some estimates are to be believed. The deposits are mostly located in the states of Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and the northeastern states. According to one estimate, the domestic supply chain of rare earth elements in India, if revived, could potentially be worth 90,000 crores in annual turnover. 90,000 crore rupees, that's close to $12 billion. And it can generate a net capital employment of about 121,000 crores, that's $16 billion. As far as the foreign exchange is concerned, the rare earth industry has the potential of generating 50,000 crore rupees for India. This is some $6 billion. The scope for the rare earth industry in India is immense. New Delhi must come up with a national strategy to revive it to its full potential. The broken link between industry bigwigs and researchers must be re-established. This revival will give both economic and strategic benefits. Think of what it can do for the government's Make in India plan. Well, this pandemic has taught the whole world the significance of self-reliance. Atmanirbharta, as the Prime Minister of India calls it. The rare earth industry could be India's chance to achieve this, not to mention a chance to demolish China's monopoly.